presenting the issues and suggestions on heritage conservation of Patan Durbar Square from diverse perspective of Nepal, China and Malaysia. And I'd like to present this mic to my colleague Subhas Krishna Dangal to start the presentation. Thank you.
Hello, good morning to everybody. I'm just start my presentation. A short glimpse of Patan Durbar Square. Patan Durbar Square is one of the Nepal's most iconic historical sites situated in the heart of the ancient city of Patan, Durbar. And the square is not only a historical and cultural hub, but also a place for local festival, religious ceremonies, and daily activities. It remains a vibrant living heritage site, attracting visitors from all over the world. And this is the Patan Durbar Square is enlisted as the World Heritage Site by UNESCO in 1979-80. This heritage world site is a stunning example of nearby architecture and artifact value. Built preliminary during the region of the Malla period. And the 2015 earthquake in Nepal caused significant damage to many heritage sites across the Kathmandu Valley, including Patan Durbar Square. And lastly, various international organizations, including UNESCO, Department of Archaeology, have played a vital role in the restoration of Patan Durbar Square. And the issue is, my colleague will present this issue in heritage management. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. Myself is Nima Deo from DOA Nepal. Today I'm going to present about some issues in heritage management, that is in compliance of principles of Danish Charter 1964 with conservation of Patan Durbar Square. Another is procedural issues, and next one procurement issues, and another funding issues, and another promotion and digitization issues, and last one is security issues. And yesterday we discussed about lots of issues, and we conclude some of solution method. First one is preventive conservation. And what do you mean by preventive conservation? Means it is how to preserve the conservation zone or conservation heritage along with restoration work. The solution of preventive conservation is first one, implementation of Ancient Monument Conservation Act and Regulation, and another building bylaws can help preserve aesthetic value as well as heritage value, and another is how to proper supervision and monitoring, and another solution method my friend will discuss, explain, and thank you.
So the first one is to raise awareness about the importance of heritage conservation. Oh, by the way, I'm Angie, I'm from Malaysia. And the importance of the heritage conservation can help to prevent the conservation to create the preventive conservation of the heritage site. So we come up with the idea of this social audit and transparency, coordination with the local communities and the local government. So in this case is that the details of the projects should be transparent to the public to create like a connection between the public and the site. So the public could also create this sense of awareness and ownership of the site as well. So the community could act as a supervision, not only the local authorities, but also the public could also be part of the supervision on the heritage site. Next is the sustainable management. So proper vegetation within the heritage site would create a greener, cleaner, and aesthetically pleasing environment for the locals and tourists to conduct their leisure activities. Implement proper drainage system along the streets and provide sustainable wastewater management on the water spouts The wastewater management could also be irrigated to the vegetations as well. Next is the enhancement of heritage values through promotion and digitalization on the existing monuments. We noticed that when we visited the site, there are lack of information of the heritage buildings. So there could be informative boards, physical ones, or we could also go for the QR code that people could actually scan and have a better understanding of the monuments itself. Next is the creative wall and paintings and arts, the mural walls and arts, to actually convey the information of the site way better instead of just the QR code and just now like the informative board. This one is from Penang, which I'm from, Malaysia. This is how they actually create this informative through creations, creative art. On the left side is the steel art. It actually conveys the local intangible culture, not just through wordings, but also through an art form. So not just the adults, children could also better understand the area. And on the right hand side here is the mural. It actually is part of our Malaysia way of conveying the intangible cultures of the area. So this is one of the examples that it could be implemented in Patan Durbar Square as well. Next is the problems / issues. Number one is the Venice Charter focuses on only tangible historic monuments and overlooks on the intangible ones, like rituals, jatras, religious festivals, which holds the key importance of the Nepali culture. Hence, such cultural heritage cannot be preserved under this charter. So our suggestion is to formulate a new Asian charter focusing on the tangible, not just the tangible, but also the intangible cultural heritage as well, so that the heritage conservation can be done to the fullest. Thank you.
Thank you, Angie. And I'm raising this problem or issue. These are the insights around Patan Darbar Square. Another problem or issue at Patan Darbar Square, what we have seen is that lack of sufficient funds for conservation of heritage like Bhaidega is delaying the progress of reconstruction. It takes 5 to 10 years for reconstruction, then the process of construction itself is too long and it is decreasing the value of that heritage. And what we suggest a solution measure is that introduce an administrative office or tourist center for collecting donation from public as well as tourists, specifically focusing for heritage conservation is one solution for the lack of funds. And another is online donation through websites like and social medias like Facebook, TikTok, QR code. It can be another major solution for the lack of fund problem. And another issue what we have seen at Patan Darbar Square is monotonous aesthetic of monuments creates a confusion in the eye of tourists due to similar architecture of every monument in the heritage site. Because every building looks similar to in the eye of tourists. And what we suggest for this issue is that tourist directional maps with routes directing the tourists to explore the monuments through a story-based timeline, visiting each notes with an order. We suggest like heritage maps, like tour maps, as shown in the figure. This is the recommended route of Patan Darbar Square, in which the timeline is they may spend 3 hours in this route, and we are suggesting another alternative route, which may be 1 hour for the tour around the Patan Darbar Square. This can be one of the best solution for the tourists because guide maps and this timeline maps, tourists can visit the area according to the time they have, and they can manage the time properly. Understand? And another problem number 4, issue number 4, what we have seen in Patan Darbar Square is that bright colored fencing around the Rato Machindranath temple is affecting the aesthetic value of the temple. It's the aesthetic value, the look of the building is declined by the bright fences. And in the solution, what we can do is that instead of bright colored fencing, the fencing could be of dark colors or color matching with the temple, so that the essence of the heritage can be preserved. And next slide. Problem issue number 5, what we have seen is that procurement issues regarding procurement of reconstruction work, like awarding the contract to the lowest bidder as per the Public Procurement Act and regulations, has been a major issue to meet the quality and authenticity of conservation works as per our requirements. This has been a major issue in case of Nepal. And what we suggest is that specific procurement rules and regulations for heritage conservation work must be proposed for formulation focusing on quality-based conservation, so that we can preserve the authenticity and integrity of the heritage during our reconstruction and conservation work. And thank you, Dhanyavad, Terima Kasih, and Sese to all the participants and the respected delegates. Thank you.
Thank you. Very